said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
Are we rolling, Southpaw?
We are rolling.
We are rolling.
We rolling?
We are. Yeah, we're going to get to this in a moment. Do you want to knock it off for now, Southpaw?
Yeah.
So, welcome back. This is People Like Us podcast. We don't say the episode numbers anymore because we don't put them out.
All right.
Basically, okay. But we're honoured today to be joined by a returning guest, or part of the team, I would say, Mr. Chris Muldowney in his Miami Vice outfit. Very smooth, sir. I don't
Thanks,
know,
mate.
just before we start, is there a way for the visual viewers that we could have this show with the sunglasses on?
Oh, I'd rather not, mate.
I think that would be great.
It's a bit...
How about just 5 minutes?
It's not the best, is it? You know what I mean?
Come on, fam.
You want me to put my shades on?
Yeah, just for 5 minutes.
So fuck
you know,
just 5 minutes,
just
mate.
for the visuals, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, just for the audio
I don't
listeners,
wear
Chris
shades
is putting
indoors
on some...
on normal circumstances.
Oh, Jesus!
Jesus! They're gone now. They're gone.
Get a mop.
We're rolling.
Oh God, I know. Yeah, viewership up. But yeah, no, I'm loving the get up, Chris. I like
Thanks,
this.
mate.
It's doing wonders
I went
for
with
you.
the linen today.
Is this linen?
It says linen, this, mate, yeah.
Gosh.
Full linen.
You know what, fam? That's one of them outfits, right, where the hairy chest works.
I know, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So,
And that was a big consideration in the purchase of the outfit, mate.
I like that. See, you've got one of them hairy chests, right, that you can be proud of. I've always said this. Yes, I'm a chest waxer, but I am one of those people that has the wispy spider legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you look and you go, ugh. Like, you just look minging. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look handsome, but you've got one of them, like...
Bare chests.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just oozes testosterone, do you know what I mean? All manly, you know?
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of my chest hair, like.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Chris. Do you trim it at all?
Just around this part here, because it grows up the neck. It's like vines growing up here, so I have to keep it just around that part, the collarbone area.
Bit of shaping.
Yeah, shape the chest hair.
Full-blown silverback gorilla.
Yeah. It's like tactical, though, isn't it? You're not. You can't say that, can you? Get cancelled. I'm going to say it, whatever. You can't be a bender and like shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to say whatever.
Well,
like no one watches. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Just don't put a shot out of that one.
No,
it'll go viral.
we'll miss that. But speaking of, right, this came to my head, right? How, because I genuinely don't quite understand this. How do you make money from making video content? Do you know, like, obviously we turn up every week, we make People Like Us. Thank you everyone for watching. How do you make money off this?
I think you've got to hit a certain amount of subscribers before you can monetize your channel.
Right.
Once you've hit that amount of subscribers, you get paid based on the amount of views you've had. On minutes that people have spent watching your stuff. So I don't know exactly how it works, but YouTube just pay you, as I understand it, because it's based on advertising, isn't it? It's not YouTube that are paying you. It's, you know, when you're watching a podcast, an advert. Well, you won't because you got premium, but normal people who can't be asked with that shit, and they put up with the adverts, and he gets loads at YB, mate. Makes a fortune. He's only got about 8,000 followers, but he makes money.
Do you ever notice on YouTube? Like, just in my personal life, I'm sure everyone's the same. I watch some YouTube channels, and they're very, very high quality videos, but they have a very, in comparison to what I'm going to say next, a very low viewership. So, like, you know, the video might have, 3,000, 4,000 views. I mean, that's a lot compared to us. But then...
We've had a few of them.
Have we?
3,000-4,000, well, shorts, but not...
But then I know other channels, which is literally just some guy stood in his back garden talking about breathing techniques, and it'll
3
be
million
like
views,
3 million
3 million
views.
likes.
Yeah, literally no like production, no nothing. You can hear the wind.
Some people just repost other people's stuff. Like, for example, I don't know, Ben Shapiro. A guy will create a channel and just repost Ben Shapiro stuff, and I end up getting 3-4 million like followers and shit. It's madness. There's no creation in it, no creativity in it. It's just literally reposting other people's thoughts and making money off it. It's mental.
Doesn't someone do that on the Joe Rogan stuff? I'm sure there's
there'll be loads of Joe Rogan.
like 20-minute snippets of like interesting bits. Like, so for example, it'll be a bit with Elon Musk talking about how AI is going to change the world and we all need to be careful. And like that 20-minute clip of that 3-hour conversation is posted. But when you sort of read the channel, it doesn't say the Joe Rogan Experience. It says something else.
Yeah.
So that's a repost.
I think he's got a few sub-channels though, JRE.
Does
He's
he?
got like a channel specifically for the shorts and...
Does he?
Yeah, I think so. But there could be just normal people who've created those channels and just using his stuff to...
You know, your example you gave there, like the Ben Shapiro reposter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, for example, I was going to do this, right? Okay, I'm going to go home at night. I'm going to download this video, whatever you do, repost it on my channel, call it, Shapiro Wisdom, whatever, repost it. And I get paid. Can Shapiro come after me and say that's my content? No?
No.
Is that not copywritten?
No, I think there's certain bits and pieces that you have to do. For example, right, if someone ever posts a boxing match online, they always change the camera angle so they'll zoom in a little bit, so it's not exactly how it was when it was first released. You've got to change a little bit or something like that. But no, you can't get done for copyright, otherwise these people wouldn't be getting away with it, would they?
Is that sometimes when you like see a video reposted or a channel using a snippet of something else and they speed it up a bit?
Sometimes they'll do that, yeah.
Right, I get it.
Because I think it has to be 70% different to the original or something like that. I don't know exactly how it works, mate. I've not looked into it. I heard someone on YouTube talking about this subject, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, you can take any content from YouTube and repost it. It's an actual like feature on YouTube that you can clip someone else's video, post it. It's like an actual thing that YouTube provides you.
I wonder if our producer has any wisdom on this. What are you saying, Sal?
Because when you're watching a YouTube video, you'll see that there's a thing called clip.
Is there?
Yeah, there's like a pair of scissors and it says clip, and you can just clip it. Like, say you want to start the clip at a minute and then you want to finish it at 1 minute 30. You press that clip and it'll record it, and then you download it on your computer and you can put it on your channel.
No way.
Yeah, there's many pages that do this and actually do very well off it. Yeah. But a lot of them actually will find, they'll probably watch a whole podcast and they'll timestamp, as I do, throughout hours and find good moments or moments that could potentially do well.
Yeah.
And then below that, they'll have half of it as the actual podcast or the clip they're recording. And then below it, they'll have sort of, sometimes they have like GTA content that's silent, and they'll just have somebody going on a GTA rampage. Because
you've seen those split screens as well.
Yeah.
They'll have a computer game in the bottom half.
Yeah.
And they'll have some sort of informative video in the top half. And honestly, you see the amount of views and likes these videos get, and it's like, how? It just baffles me.
There was talk with me and Ben of trying to do this with a couple of our shorts of doing like half Dan talking about some random subject, and then going at the bottom with like gameplay, because gameplay, lots of people, you're instantly tapping into an audience that may look Sorry?
Who are you going to get to do the gaming?
You that's another thing you steal. So you steal the game.
You steal the gaming as well.
You steal it all. But then obviously you're changing the original video on both parts by over 70% because you're changing it.
There's even channels out there, right, that'll have, who's that lass, the black American lass who's like a proper conservative, do you know what I mean?
Oh, bloody, she made them documentaries.
Yeah. She's done a few. She's proper famous. I can't remember her name anyway. But there's channels out there that will have her on the bottom, sat there watching something. She doesn't say a word. She's just sat there looking at it. And it'll Candice Owen, she's called.
Candice Owen.
So
That's
Candice
it.
Owen reacts. And she sat there watching this thing. She's bottom half of the screen. The top half of the screen is what she's reacting to. But she's not reacting to that video at all. They've just clipped her, sat there for 20 seconds. They put something on top of it and said Candice reacts. And it just gains loads of traction. It's mental.
Because they're using name
name dropping, yeah.
Basically. I suppose, you could do a similar thing with Joe Rogan, couldn't you? You could obviously
a lot of people do, man.
You know what I mean? You could just have him going laughing to something. Do you know what I mean? And
exactly.
Then,
And they're even doing stuff now where the AI in the voice. So you can have Joe Rogan, they'll have a video of Joe Rogan, and you can see that it's AI because his lips aren't moving in sync with the words that are actually being said.
Right.
So that's Joe Rogan saying some outlandish shit that he hasn't said through AI, and just put a video of him talking something else. Take that sound out, put their sound in, and Looks like Joe Rogan said some crazy shit.
You see lots of companies trying to sell stuff through Joe Rogan's voice. So was it something called Shilajit? And have you heard of Shilajit?
No.
It's like this liquid that you can take that improves brain health and makes you faster, makes you stronger, and all these different things. And this company was trying to promote it, but then they did that with Joe Rogan. They completely AI'd his voice, saying Shilajit has changed my life. And in Joe Rogan's voice.
Yeah.
And then it's just a clip of him talking. And the words don't match up, but they will get sales from that because some people don't even click on and just hear Joe Rogan talking about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, I want to buy
Have
that.
you seen the ones where they've got Biden, Obama and Trump just having a chat amongst themselves?
No.
Some of them are hilarious, mate. Honestly, funny as fuck.
So yeah, it must be like that. You've just said there, that, like the clip AI in Joe Rogan's voice. It must be legal then. Because otherwise people would be stopped, right?
I mean,
it's
the amount of
it's legal,
podcasts
mate,
you've recorded at this point, Dan, people will be able to AI your voice.
Do you think?
Yeah, no, 100%.
What do you think the future? Do you think in the end, like going forward, not that I want to make it an AI type conversation, but like, do you think in the end, like all content, so like the Joe Rogan Experience, us when we're massive, everybody else out there, that there won't be a need for them, that the AI stuff will get that good visually and audibly, or if that's a word, that you won't need
It's
it.
not real though, is it? I mean, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, it could potentially just take over AI the way it's going, but it's still not real, is it? It's not you. It's not me.
But if it gets that good, how would we know? Like, for example, there'll be enough, just use Joe Rogan as the example, right? There'll be enough, there's 20 years or something of 3-hour shows 5 times a week of him.
Yeah, we've got a lot of historical content on him.
He's pretty much said every word ever said.
Yeah.
So surely they'll get a point, not too far away, where you can make an exact replica. Sounds
No,
like
but
him.
it does. They've already got that, but it's still not real, is it? It's not Joe Rogan. It's artificial intelligence pretending to be Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I get that. I just wonder if they'll get to a point where we won't be able to tell.
I think they're at that point now, mate. It's like the only way you'll tell is by the lips not syncing with the words that are coming out the mouth. That's the only way you can tell. It sounds like Joe Rogan. It's Joe Rogan's face. It's just the only way you can tell, as I say, is because the words aren't flowing with his lips. You can see he's not saying that.
So just before we close the chapter, how does the TikTok thing work? Do you know, obviously, TikTok's the new kid on the block, so to speak. Like, it's the newest of them, of the
socials.
How do people get TikTok famous?
Not a clue, mate.
It's just the young blood.
Well, the algorithm is so hard to try and play into. I mean, we've found that already. We've had some shorts that have done really well, and some that just get like next
You know what?
to
There's
next
loads
to
of
nothing.
views on YouTube, like on TikTok. Sorry, people walking around the streets talking to other people with a phone in their hand. Millions of people watch that shit.
Well, we nearly did that, didn't we? We were going to go into.
I was watching a guy yesterday, a black guy from London who went to Birkenhead, and he's going around asking people why people should come to Birkenhead. About 21 million likes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, this is shit.
Well, just members of the public.
Yeah, just normal people just walking around the streets, making stupid noises. Oh my God, what a shit show. Honestly, shambles. But yeah, I mean, weird what is popular and what isn't popular these days. It's like...
Where does the revenue come from in TikTok?
There's several ways you can make money off TikTok. They have got the same thing, whereas if you get a certain amount of followers that you're going to be able to monetize your videos if they're child friendly and certain sort of guidelines that you have to follow.
What is it? Is it 1,000 followers on YouTube?
I think it's it's 500 followers on YouTube before you can monetize your videos. But on TikTok, there's certain followers, you have to get to that, and then after you've got to that, then I believe people can like click certain emojis on your video and they might have £10 deposited in TikTok, and that is for them to then give to creators, and they can give that via emojis or certain stickers that they put on, and then you might get 50p or you might get 3 pence, and it's like them just saying they'll pop up in your sort of, you know, when you click on a video and it's like all the likes are coming in, they'll stay on there for a little bit longer. So people will pay to be on your video in TikTok with certain regards. But yeah, it's weird how you can make revenue on these different platforms.
Yeah, it is. I admit it goes over my head. I'm interested in it, but it goes over my head.
Yeah. You want to get a subscription to the real world, mate? Open your eyes, tell you everything.
So we can't be good at everything.
I was on there for a month.
On where?
The real world.
Oh, I thought you were taking the piss.
No, I wasn't
Right.
taking
I
the
thought you were saying you're
It's an actual platform
you're a
that Tate does, doesn't he? Gives you all the inside info on how to do it, what to do. But it's more like what we were talking about earlier, where you're reposting his stuff.
Right.
Like you just repost Tate over and over again. It gains loads of traction. You remember when he first came out,
Yeah.
and he was just everywhere. You couldn't swipe through your shorts without seeing Tate on every single one, and that's how he done it. He got everyone on the Real World. I think it was called Huffner's University or something else back then. Hustlers, that's it. Yeah, Huffner's. Hustlers University, mate. Yeah.
Hey, have you ever watched his thing on Rumble? His show?
No.
Oh, fam.
What is it? Him and Tristan.
Him, Tristan. He might have the odd guest, but you can picture the scene.
Yeah.
Sat behind this monumental desk. They've
Tops
both
off.
got the tops off.
Cigar in the back.
Sunglasses in the daytime. I mean, in the nighttime, big cigars. Yeah, drinking coffee because the Muslim and that now or whatever.
Yeah.
But just literally,
He is interesting, but Andrew, isn't he?
ripping the world to bits.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
I love them, the
Yeah,
class.
they're great. They're great. I like them.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know what's going to happen to them. Like after that,
I think it's all done and dusted now, isn't it?
I think to the contrary. I think it hasn't started.
Hasn't settled, no?
No, I think it's due to go to court, but it's got that whole data collection thing, and
Right.
they're like compiling.
It all
the
sounds
case.
like bullshit, though, doesn't it?
Well,
We've got no witnesses or anything. The women that
I listened to a guy on YouTube, and he's called Bruce Rivers. He's a lawyer, right? He's an American lawyer.
Yeah, I think you told me this.
Great guy, and whatever's going on, he picks it apart and gives he's a criminal defense lawyer. So
Yeah.
his job primarily is to defend the criminal. So a lot of his cases, and he's high end. He does murders and stuff like that. He's defended rappers, stuff like this. His job is a criminal defense lawyer, and he tries to get them out of things they've done, basically.
Yeah.
So he's great. You know what I mean? Like the way he talks about like murder and stuff, it's like as if it's just water off a duck's back. I had this client that was getting done for murder, and and he'll make a joke about it, and you're like, huh, like this is real stuff you're talking about. But he goes. Currently, he's doing a lot with like Trump and stuff. Obviously that Trump case. But when the Andrew Tate thing came out, he did a lot of content on Andrew Tate, and he has said since day one, pardon my language, he is fucked. He's absolutely fucked, and he said there is no way on earth he's getting out of this.
When you listen to them, they're saying that the two women that they are supposedly holding to give them info are refusing to like condemn them and say anything bad about them. So they've got nothing really.
The thing is, right, this is what Bruce Rivers pointed out, that a lot of what you're regurgitating now has come from Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but why would they be out? Because they hadn't. Why would they be out now? And what is it? How long have they been out? Nearly a year?
You can only be sort of remanded for so long, I think, in custody. And
Not in Romania, mate. Keep you forever.
Right. Well, I think he is, he's not allowed to leave the country. There is restrictions on him. Yeah, he's not allowed to leave.
Right.
For a while, he had to stay in his house. I think he's allowed out of his house now.
Yeah.
But, you have to, it's human rights and things. And like, if this collating this case is going to go on for 6 years, it's sort of like human rights that you can't just, you can't just hold somebody down if it's not defined. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it could be he was held for no reason. So obviously Andrew Tate's got some money and he's got good lawyers and stuff. And there's been an agreement that he needs to, he's got businesses to run and he needs to.
He's nowhere near as in your face as he was, is he? He's not like, you don't see him that much anymore.
We don't, but he does do like nearly a daily show on Rumble.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's very active.
Does he talk about it?
Not it. Obviously, there's like legal things in place. He can't. He touches on it, a lot, and like will make reference to it, but he won't go into detail.
Yeah.
As they are. No, I mean the reason we don't see him much now is because he's been banned off every single platform. Except, he's banned.
Is he?
Yeah, same as Russell Brand. Like he got it as well. I think Russell's is definitely settling down now.
What's Brand banned off?
He's been demonetized from
On YouTube.
Yeah. So he's exclusively on Rumble. I know he does put shorts out and stuff, like just 20-minute clips of the news and stuff on YouTube, so they seem to go. But I don't think there's some shit about not being monetized or something.
He has to stop his videos, doesn't he, on YouTube?
Yeah.
To take his real
opinion.
hard-hitting content to
Yeah.
Spotify, Rumble.
But Bruce Rivers, he's, if anyone is, supposed to know what they're talking about, this guy's a 30-year served, board certified, as he calls himself, a criminal defense lawyer.
He won't have access to all the information, though. You know what I mean?
No.
He's only looking from the outside in like we are.
Yeah, but he has a perspective that we don't know. And again, a lot of the information. Oh, there's nothing on him. That hasn't came from the courts. That hasn't came from the legal system. That hasn't came from the police. That hasn't came from the prosecutor. It's come from Andrew Tate.
But if they had stuff on him, they'd have got him.
No, not necessarily. These things can go on for years, as I personally know. From when something starts and you be arrested and interviewed, it can be many years before it all comes to fruition.
Yeah.
And there's that bit in the middle. Andrew Tate will be answering bail. Well, every week, every 2 weeks, whatever. No. I don't, what do I know? But I've listened to Andrew Tate saying, it's all bollocks and all this and all this. But then I've listened to a lawyer who knows what he's talking about saying, no, he's in massive trouble. He's going to go to jail for a long, long time because there is enough already. There's enough that is known because he's got the tax evasion stuff. That's definite. Like, he bragged about it and there's content of him saying it. You say, like, it's the thing is, in Romania, it's different. He's going to go into trial with no jury. They're very different. When you're in the Western countries, like ours, England and thingy, it has to be jury by trial. So you get 10 people. And it's one case, 2 people make a case, and between these 10 neutral people, they will make a decision on the outcome. That is not it in Romania. It's a
Judges
judge.
decide.
Yeah. And the judge is part of this system, kind of, that's prosecuting him. So he's fucked. And there's content out there of him over the years saying...
I know, but you can say that you said this stuff, but you were just saying it for clout or whatever, and you were just messing about. It's just
He could.
You can't, prove anything just because he said something on a podcast years ago.
It doesn't have to be proven here. It just has to, at the end, things like that. Was he saying it for joke or was he not? Well, that's down to opinion. And in this case, it's down to the opinion of one man, the judge.
Yeah.
What do you think of the jury side of things in the UK? You think that's a good thing?
Well, yeah, of course. It's the fairest way.
Better than one person deciding.
Have you
your fate, isn't it?
You've ever done jury service?
No.
I have.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
I did jury service. I got called up when I was working in hospitality, and I just
Did you
finished.
work in hospitality, Salpar?
I used to back in the day.
No
yeah.
way.
Worked in a...
So I was working in this cocktail bar, and I got let through the door, and they were like, "You're gonna have to, you have to attend jury service."
Yeah, of course you do.
So
Me and Dan are all right. Yeah. We're off that list. We're no longer on that list.
They asked, the case I covered was awful. It was this father who'd been abusing his 2 daughters.
Oh my God.
And he was this African bloke, and he came over and he was doing some awful things to these girls. But there was no physical evidence that could place him doing any of these things. But what me and the jurors went off was their interviews and how convincing and how conveying, and these girls wouldn't have lied about it. So even though there was no evidence, we found him guilty. We found him guilty, and I was actually the foreman. The foreman,
the man who reads out the.
So
to the judge, tells them how the fuck.
when you're a juror, there's like.
When was this? A couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
So you'll have been 20, 21.
21, 22 maybe. And when
gone into a full room of jurors and came out the fucking foreman.
When I was
how?
Because there was all these older people. I got on well with all the fellow jurors all week. And then by the end of the week,
seeing his cute little
by
face,
the end of the week, I was like, yeah, I'll put my name forward to be the foreman, and 2 other older people did. 1 old woman did, 1 old fella did, and I got voted out of everyone to be this fucking foreman. So I had to go in to the court, and you don't really speak, you just take in everything. But on the last day, you have to obviously. They were asking each case, and I was like, we find the defendant guilty. And then actually, it turns out we had made the right decision because the judge said, we believe you've made the right call there, guys, because actually he's fled.
I thought jurors weren't allowed to do that.
He's fled the country since.
Make judgment calls. You're supposed to just give a verdict based on the evidence in front of you. You can't take your own.
You are, but there was.
Oh, he was dodgy in that interview. I think he's guilty.
No. But he didn't attend court once. He wasn't. He didn't. No interviews were short of him because he wouldn't do any interviews. No comment to everything. There was enough substantial evidence where we all thought Yeah.
Make your mind up, mate. Was there no evidence, or was there enough substantial evidence?
I thought you said there was none other than...
There was no physical evidence, but there was enough evidence that had been, sort of captured. And
even if, right, sorry to interrupt, even if, let me put myself in that position, right? I'm in this form and I'm not. And I look at this guy and I think he looks like a wrong un. These kids are dead convincing what they've said. Like sometimes you just get a feeling, right? Sometimes you don't have to have evidence. You just fucking know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure that was the case for Southpaw. He looked at this guy and said, "Yeah, he's done this." Even if I felt like that, like I know this guy's done it. If I didn't see something physical, I couldn't say guilty because I don't know.
You're not supposed to.
I couldn't do it.
You are not supposed to, but the girls were 11 and
They're supposed
11
to be
and
beyond
8.
reasonable doubt. Like, so there's no doubt or very little doubt left in your mind that this guy did it. And I think without any evidence, I'd find it very hard to convict someone of a crime. Like,
there was both parties, but it did sort of sit well with me at the end of it when the judge said, "Yeah, we believe you've made the right call."
oh yeah, you might have done, but there'll also
fled,
be a lot of guys who are in prison.
He's
where
fled the
people
country.
didn't make that right judgment, and they thought that they were guilty, and now they're behind bars, and they didn't commit a crime.
100%.
So I think that's why jurors should always just go off the evidence.
So this is a good segue, chaps. Actually, because we're talking about this horrible man that Southpaw was the gaffer at the court.
Foreman.
That's it, the foreman. Why do I think of foreskin when you say foreman? I just all I can think.
Because you've got the fucking mentality of a child.
That's all I can think. Foreskin. Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts. When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online, to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts. There's a video I want to share with you because I want to know if this tickles you the same way it tickled me. So, backstory: I've got 2 nephews. Okay, one of them is of an age which the schools are introducing sex education to them, which I think is great. Okay, pregnancies, blah 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 blah. Kids should be educated. I personally wasn't. I don't know if you were. Nobody taught me anything. You know, I thought you could use a crisp packet as a condom when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I was at.
Laggy band.
Yeah, literally. But, so this video got sent to me. So this is about consent.
Yeah,
okay?
like a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Do you want a cup of tea? No. Yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. No, I've seen it.
Thanks for spoiling the video. But here we go.
Struggling with consent? Just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" And they go, "Oh my God, I would love a cup of tea. Thank you." Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" And they're like, I'm not really sure." Then you can make them a cup of tea, or not, but be aware that they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important bit, don't make them drink it. Doesn't mean you're entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say, "No thank you," then don't make them tea at all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, "Yes, please, that's kind of you." And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind and the target takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind. And you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they're unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea and they can't answer the question, do you want tea? Because they're unconscious. Maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea and they said yes. But in the time it took you to boil the kettle or brew the tea and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down, make sure the unconscious person is safe, and this is the important part again, don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they are safe. Because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it, going, but you wanted tea last week. Or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat, going, but you wanted tea last night. If you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you are able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, man.
What are you saying, lads? What are you saying, South Park?
Absolute genius.
Don't make them drink tea while they're unconscious.
Yeah, it's a strange way of showing it. So is this what they're showing in schools?
Yeah. You know, I mean,
I guess for a
I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I guess
stuff.
for a kid, it's very simple for them to understand that.
I mean,
I don't think kids even think in those terms. I don't think putting it in their heads is even a good thing. I think it's stupid. What, like, kids in primaries, did you think about sex when you were 12, 13? I didn't.
No.
Like,
Football.
let's go back to when you were 7 or 8. Like, I didn't even like girls.
No.
What now to do with them? Yeah, I don't know. World's gone mad, mate. But yeah, that's hilarious.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's an interesting one.
One
yeah.
of the things it says in there, I mean, like, I don't know, you know, times must have changed because one of the things, it said that if somebody, you know, you offer somebody tea and they say, yes, please, that's kind of you. Nobody's ever said that to me. You know what I mean? Never, ever. And, you know, they must be doing well, these kids, you know? But when I get the message, but Jesus, man, like, when I first watched it, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know whether it was genius or ridiculous. And
I think it's really, really clever what he's done.
You think?
Yeah, because it hits the message home and it's funny.
Do you
know
think
what
it's
I mean?
meant to be funny? Or do you think
100% it's meant to be funny, yeah. He's trying to make you laugh there, isn't he?
Right.
If they've said yes and they've passed out in the time it's took you to boil the kettle, don't force them to drink tea.
The animations are brilliant. Like the animations where it's like pouring tea over them.
Yeah, I mean, I seen it. That's been out a long time. That at least a couple of years.
Yeah, 8 years.
I seen it ages ago.
8 years it's been out.
No way.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
good, funny.
Genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you get sex education at school?
Not that I remember.
I didn't. Did you, Selpa?
I think so, but like it was very brief, and I don't remember paying much attention when I was younger to it.
Yeah. We probably did as well. Probably in senior school
You
we
did
got
get
some.
educated on the whole consent thing, which obviously is valuable. But I think I don't remember getting told like the important things of like how to put a condom on. You know what I mean?
No, I do remember that there was a thing.
The important thing.
Yeah.
It's not fucking rocket science, bro.
Yeah.
How does this work?
Once I put one on, it was all right. But when you're younger, it's like it's a foreign alien. You don't know what it is, do you? Really?
We were always told to expect, like, I remember being told that when you get older, they teach you sex education and they make you put a condom on a banana or an aerosol bottle or something like this. But I never saw it in real life.
No, I never done any of that.
No, never.
I think the furthest it went was learning about the reproductive systems in biology. That was probably as far as sex education went when I was a kid. There was certainly no like big uproar about consent and teaching kids that you're not allowed to rape. Like, what the fuck? It's just a given, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you're a psycho, you don't need to be told these things.
No, that's what. Yeah, I mean, it was probably we probably can't remember, but it was probably instilled from our. No, I couldn't think of it. I don't think it was instilled from my parents. You're right. It was just sort of an automatic.
But you would have been taught not to hit your sister or
Yeah.
to look after your man, be nice to you, like treat
yeah.
women with respect, which automatically leads to the fact that you're not going to hurt women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just part and parcel of growing up as a kid normally. Obviously, there's some people that have had horrific upbringings and stuff and they go different ways, but I don't think it's something that you can teach a kid and a light bulb goes off in their head and says, oh yeah, I need to ask for consent.
But to be fair, like you've told us before, you had a friend that had a bit of a chew on before. In a way, like if as silly as that is, like drumming that into everybody's head, where basically you've got to make them sign a document beforehand, it is going to eliminate. Over time, it could eliminate that situation.
I don't think so.
No?
You've got a guy who is capable of doing something as horrific as raping a woman. You think teaching them this shit's going to change the way their pattern goes? And they're sick in the head. Obviously, there's something wrong with them to even be able to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I
don't think there's no educating them. That's why these people go to prison. They come out, they reoffend.
Yeah, I guess
You know
so.
what I mean?
Okay, maybe it won't eradicate it, but surely it will reduce.
The way it'll eradicate it is putting stiffer penalties on it, mate. Chopping people's hands off, chopping people's nuts off.
You reckon?
That's what they should do. Yeah, 100%. If someone raped my mum or my sister, I'd want them dead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you would.
So yeah, the punishments are too soft. They'll punish you more for financial crime now. Like if you've done something financially wrong, like fraud or something like that, you're going to jail for a lot longer than you are if, I don't know, you're a paedophile. Some of these paedophiles just walk away, don't even go to jail.
That's something that rubs me up the wrong way.
It's fucking shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure these like examples I'm giving are like extreme cases, and they're obviously, these examples are designed to make you be furious.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it won't always be the case. I bet there's some ways where it's the opposite way, where somebody who's committed fraud got 2 years and somebody who's a paedophile got 15. I bet it has happened the other way. But just the fact that it's ever happened, that somebody didn't pay his taxes and went to jail for 6 years, and somebody did something you can't even say, and went and got 6 months probation.
Exactly,
like,
mate.
Yeah, it's
backwards, mate.
Yeah, it's backwards. It's backwards.
A scary thing that I got told recently as well.
What's that?
So obviously, my sister's just finished a term in Doncaster HMP, and she was a very good prison officer there. And she was telling me that obviously there are a lot of paedophiles, more than you would ever believe. And what they do when they get out is they give them a new name, and a lot of the time these paedophiles are relocated to like coastal areas, because that way they can. It's fucked, but that way a lot of them go to work at like amusement parks and stuff like that, where children are. And with amusement parks and theme parks, there's no DBS checks.
There is something in the UK now though where you can check online to see if there's anyone within your locality that is a sex offender.
Really?
Yeah.
So it'll give you their new names, or not the names? Or would it just say there is one here?
I haven't gone that deep into it, but you can check to see if sex offenders live close by here online. Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Do you know when he said they relocate to the coast?
You've got a right to know, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's someone close by who can cause harm to your kids legally, you have a right to know. So there's some website online through the government that allows you to find out if there's sexual predators.
Yeah, to be fair, I've just it's offenders databases. It's what it's called. It's just called offenders.org.uk, and yeah, you can actually. I'm looking at. Well,
you can get their address and stuff. I know that much. You can find out where.
I don't know about it. Oh, it just tells you here their location.
It might not be specific as address, because I suppose that'd be putting them at risk, wouldn't it? But
would it give you the name?
Yeah, it gives you full names. Yeah, I don't really
pictures.
Pictures, names.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't really want to bring it up, but
no.
Yeah,
I see it.
It's crazy. This like.
Is it?
But it's right though. You should, like, if someone dangerous is living in your street, you should have the right to be able to find that information out, shouldn't you? Really?
Yeah. Well, there's also the other side of the fence where, look, nobody likes a paedophile. They should all be put on an island, in my opinion.
Nobody likes a paedophile. The
But-
way you put some stuff, mate. Go on.
But putting a photograph, I mean, okay, there could be a group of men who want to hurt these people, you know what I mean? And putting their pictures online, okay, you might not know their address, but what if you've seen him? Like, these people are going to end up, I bet a lot of people get filled in.
Then Joe Public's putting themselves at risk of criminal punishment as well. Because, fair enough, if it was your daughter or something like that, and you found this man, you'd want to do damage and you probably wouldn't care about the repercussions. But if you just found out that this guy is on your street, you know he's done some stuff, but it's not impacted you directly, are you then going to go and put yourself at risk of prosecution by the police to get something, to get back at this guy?
I
don't think you
wouldn't, but some people would.
Yeah, I suppose vigilantes out there probably would.
Let's be honest, right? Okay, let's imagine there's a 999 call made, right?
Yeah.
Some man's just been absolutely brayed up, you know, in a street where there's no cameras.
Yeah.
Because obviously the person that brayed him up knew there was no cameras there.
Yeah.
Anyway, they call the 999. The police come. The man's been filled in. He's all right. He gets taken to hospital, but they know, oh, right, this guy's a sex offender, right? Don't you think the police will just be like, nah, there's no evidence?
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, he'll just be like,
Brushing
nah.
under the carpet. You got what was coming at you.
Yeah.
But if there is evidence and this guy wants to push it, the guy you've assaulted, he wants like a criminal conviction, I suppose the police could still do the job half-assed and like, oh no, we can't find him, we don't know, there's no evidence, this, that and the other. But I don't think they would. That'd be corruption, mate. If you commit a crime, you committed a crime regardless of who the victim is. You know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah, corruption never happens, does it?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of corruption, shitloads of it, but they're usually looking after themselves rather than people in the public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If corruption exists, it's usually to back up the mates in the gang.
No, it's crazy just to think, like, I mean, I'll never go on the database thing, but just think, like, wherever you are, I bet there's somebody who's done something really bad pretty close to where you are.
Yeah, 100%. I bet if you ever have a daughter, you might be tempted to go on that.
Probably, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, of
I
course you would.
wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. Have you ever been on it?
No. I know it exists, but I've never been on that. Have a look.
No.
Got no reason to.
Is it a fairly new thing, do you think?
No, I heard about it years ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
It was something to do with, I think it was that Maxine Carr.
Who was she again?
She was the Ian Huntley's.
Yeah.
She was his assailant or whatever that you would call it, accomplice in killing those two kids in I can't remember where they're from now, Manchester, I think.
I didn't know.
But she got relocated a few times, and that's when they brought out that. As far as I can remember, that's when they brought it out. Yeah.
I never knew he had an accomplice. I do remember that Ian Huntley guy.
Yeah, it was his missus. She covered up for him and everything, didn't she? She got jail time as well. He got life, I think, and she got like 10 years.
No way.
She lied to the police. She covered it up. I don't think she was involved in the actual crime itself, but if you aid and abet someone, you know what I mean? You're just as guilty as them.
I remember that picture.
She looks evil as well,
So what happened with this case?
He kidnapped two young kids, like 9, 10-year-old, and it's horrible, this courtesy, but I think he drowned them in his bath.
Oh my
Wasn't he like the caretaker at the school?
Yeah, he was a caretaker, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. I remember now. Yeah, he was a crazy. He was a crazy person. Him. Have they made a TV show about it? Yeah, Maxine Cass.
They have, yeah.
No way. God, where can you watch that Southpaw?
It's on Netflix, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Maxine Cass. Oh, they've done a book. I think he's passed away now. I'm pretty sure he's passed away.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I know he's had a few attempts at taking his own life. I don't think he's dead though, is he?
Maybe I'm. Maybe
Good
I
enough
am.
for him if he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember this. God, that brings back some memories seeing that. Do you know, This case.
Yeah,
here,
there is. There's a TV show on Netflix. Open that back up again, Coatsy. Scroll down that one there, that Mac Radio Times one. Yeah, that's the show. No, the one next to it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the TV show based on him.
Yeah, it does have
Really horrific TV show as well. Well, good TV show, but
You watched it?
yeah.
Did you? Was it like multiple parts?
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
like a series, mate, yeah.
Is it? Right. Yeah, so if anyone wants to have nightmares, get on to Maxine. Yeah.
She was living in Gisborough, about where. She was all over the Gazette.
What? Post this?
Yeah, after this happened, yeah. They relocated, they changed the name.
So, hang on. She was She kind of gone to jail for that long then?
I think she went for 10, maybe spent 5, I don't know.
Good God.
You know, the crime rate in Cleveland is like higher than London. It's like 100
Per capita, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 141%.
It's one of the most dangerous places
It is,
to live.
and like I couldn't get
Really?
over that recently. Like Cleveland is up there with one of the highest crime rates in the whole. Well, it is the highest crime rate in the whole of the UK.
Yeah, I've heard that as
I
well.
watched a documentary on it on YouTube, and it was brilliant. And it took you to a rough part of Middlesbrough. It took you to a rough part of Stockton. Darlington was involved as well. And people are just robbing, people are doing awful things, lots of sex crimes, lots of gang-affiliated stuff. And I couldn't believe that it was Cleveland, to be honest, when I was hearing it all.
Couldn't you?
No,
Why?
because I didn't think there was no gangs or anything. Like, I knew there's obviously drug wars, there's
Yeah.
drugs in Cleveland. I know that, I'm aware of it. But I couldn't believe for 1 second that we live in the most dangerous place in the UK.
I still can't believe it. What's our like crime of choice? Like,
Loads of knife crime in Teesside.
Yeah,
mate.
that's it.
Really?
Knife crime.
Shitloads,
Yeah,
really.
in Middlesbrough, like...
A lot of violent crime in Teesside, mate.
Can I be honest?
Shitloads.
I never hear of this. I never hear anyone's been stabbed or
Yeah,
anything
it's a
like
thing,
that.
like.
Yeah, Cleveland is the
It's
current
gonna nip the
crime
voice.
per capita for England, where the highest level of crimes per 1,000 population was reported.
No way.
Yeah, the numbers calculate show a level of crime proportionate to the number of people who live there. Cleveland saw 147.2 crimes occur per 1,000 people, according to latest ONS figures. And I was blown away by this, Dan. I couldn't understand because I think we live in a nice, a safe, we're quite a... I thought everyone was fairly lovely. I know I live on the outskirts of Darlington, and even Darlington I don't find it to be too bad.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I had no idea this was going on. I had no idea at all. If you were to ask me to guess, I would say it'd be the cities. It'd be London. It'd be Manchester, Birmingham. But do they even?
We have a higher crime rate than London, which blew me away, mate.
Is London even on the list?
I
I don't think it is the most dangerous place to live. Like on this list you've brought up here above the country.
yeah, that's it. So you've got Cleveland at top, then you got West Yorkshire, then you got Greater Manchester, West Midlands, South Yorkshire, Merseyside, Humberside,
Isn't that interesting, Chris?
Durham.
Unless I'm reading this wrong, I can't see London on that list. And they've named like what, 42?
Let's have a look.
I can't see London. Am I blind?
I think it'd be like parts of London.
Hampshire would be London, would it not?
No, it's
So,
miles
yeah.
away.
Yeah, it's quite far out.
Huh. And if I'm not mistaken, Birmingham's
Thames
not on
Valley,
there.
that's definitely London. That's number 31. Yeah, that's a surprise to me as well. I thought London was really dangerous, but
Any idea where West Mercia is?
not a clue.
But I'm still blown away. Cleveland at the top there.
I know, yeah.
I think I said he's on a previous podcast. It's all the ferals that won't stop breeding. It's fucking raj, mate. It's ferals everywhere.
It's all been muted.
Not being raised properly. He's destined for lives of crime, and the more of these people that keep on breeding, the more of them you're going to get.
Is there like the crimes up here must be things like burgling and pinching and stealing and that sort of stuff.
There's
right?
a lot of that, yeah. Cleveland police can't keep up with it though.
Yeah, like shoplifting, this sort of stuff.
Yeah, they've got a reputation of being one of the worst forces in the UK as well. So we've got the most crime and one of the worst police forces.
When you say worst,
Yeah,
you mean
just like they're obviously vetted against all of the police forces in the UK, and
I mean that
just bad procedural things. There was a big, massive thing because they got rid of the chief constable and brought in a new chief constable from London who was having success down there. But yeah, the force is bad. It could corruption, all that carry on that you're on about.
It could, in their defence, it could be the pitch that they're on. Like, obviously, it's a nightmare place to try and govern, isn't it? So, it might be hard for anyone to. You could maybe look if you swapped the Cleveland crew with, let's say, another force in the country that's not to do well. If you swapped them places, you might probably find that this one that used to do well actually ends up being the worst again because of the area he's in or they're in.
Yeah, I don't think it was. It was deeper than that, mate. There was
it
big, procedural and structural, and just the force got tore apart, mate. Ripped to shreds by Ofsted or whoever does this.
Let me just play the first minute or so of this video because this is done by a channel called Talk TV. Shout out them. They did the documentary really well. I'd urge anybody to watch this because I was amazed when I watched it. But
okay.
Really bad, mate. I didn't walk about one of these.
How bad's crime in the area?
It's really bad, mate. I didn't walk about one of these, man. Look.
Oh my
So you
God.
didn't walk about it to keep yourself safe, man.
Kids smoking crack cocaine at 14-year-old and stabbing each other up. It's a scary place to live in.
How old are the teen drugs?
I don't like to say the ages, but height, you just see it when you're walking past, you'll just see little kids.
What? 10 years old?
Yeah, roughly about that age, yeah.
They come round and stab me.
I've seen this.
And then I thought, oh no.
Well, it's a relatively small area on the northeast coast of England, covering parts of Yorkshire, Durham and Teesside. It's not just the River Tees which flows through the region, it's crime too.
Police!
Oh my days.
that's a gun.
No way.
Yeah, I was blown away when I watched it.
Loads
Mate.
of this, man. I mean, you've got to imagine how many drug dealers are across Teesside, and drugs is massive in Teesside. You know what I mean? It's probably bigger on Teesside per person than anywhere else in the country. It's got a massive drug problem: heroin, crack cocaine, all that horrible shit. And these people are naughty people, and then they'll have competitors and little runners, and it turns into the wild, wild west. And that's basically what places like Grangetown and those rougher parts of Borough, and you've got Stockton, Eastbourne and places like that. It's just filled with crime.
I had no idea. I had no idea it was that bad.
Yeah, it's bad,
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, do you know, maybe it's by design, because I don't seem, God, am I an avid news watcher? No. But I don't seem to hear, news about guns and knives and stuff, up here. Am I missing something? Or is it?
You're probably just steering clear of the news sources that would tell you. Do you go on the Northern Echo? Do you have a look at Teesside Live? Do you watch the news? Do you watch BBC North on a night?
Not avidly.
I don't.
No.
So.
I suppose you're not going to find out, no.
I'll tell you the place I find out about most of the stuff is Facebook.
Is it?
Yeah. See loads of shit, because the Gazette has their own channel, and every 2 hours or so there's some new crime that they're putting out on the socials.
I think this is only fairly recent though that we've became one of the worst. I think it's within the last 10 to 15 years that we've really started upping the ante on all this crime. But I couldn't believe it when I heard it. Do you going back to your youth, is there any moments that you can recall where you're fucking hell, I can't believe I saw that? Is there anything like that?
No.
Is there one moment that stands out where you're that he had a big knife?
No.
This is what shocked. This is why it shocked me. I was I'm obviously I live in a fairly nice village, but I was just blown away. I was like, Cleveland is the worst place to live in the UK. Madness.
The most dangerous.
Most dangerous. Yeah, maybe not.
Not necessarily the worst.
No.
It's not the it is the poorest, right?
I don't know. I don't think it's the poorest. I think what they're saying by the most dangerous is you're more likely to be affected by a crime in Cleveland than you are anywhere else in the country.
Right.
That's why they're saying it's the most dangerous. It's not like you have to fear walking the streets and stuff in Stockton, but the chances of you being a victim of a crime are higher.
I'll be honest. I mean, not that I've been walking around Middlesbrough and Stockton any time recently, but just for my town, Darlington, which is 20 minutes away.
That lot's safe as houses, though.
Yeah, I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel as though you could walk anywhere on a night here and be
It's
fine.
a lot safer than Stockton-on-Tees.
Is it?
Yeah, 100%.
So is the places like, for example, I've never been, well, I have been once, that's a different story. But, for example, Grangetown, would it be dangerous at 10 o'clock on a Friday night for me to go walk around the estate on my own with gold jewellery on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely,
They'd
man,
have it off, yeah.
100%. And you've got all, like, the shipping loads of illegal immigrants into, like, well, I say illegal, they're just immigrants. I don't suppose they are illegal, but the more of them that come into a community, the worse the community gets, because you've got loads of...
Why so?
Because they're not getting vetted anymore, Dan. These people that are coming in, they're not vetting them, they're not documenting them, so they're basically walking around, no name, no, like, ties to anything. They can get away with what they want. It's bad, like. It's happening all over the country, to be fair.
Surely for someone to get located into Grangetown, given, like...
Have you not seen what's going on in Ireland?
I don't live in
The
Ireland.
Irish are kicking off, mate, because they're trying to do it with them, aren't they? Because we're shipping them all out now. I think the Rwanda deal, I think it's called. But the
What the
Rwanda deal, anyone who comes, shipped straight off.
To
you've got-
Rwanda?
but we're also sending them to Ireland, and Ireland there's loads of protests in Ireland at the minute. These undocumented men around our kids, we don't want them. So all the Irish are kicking off in places like Tallaght and Dublin. And
You know when you say undocumented?
yeah,
For them to be...
they've came into the country with no documentation. So all you can go, who are you? Oh, that's my name. That's my date of birth. What? There's no vetting procedure. We don't know who they were before they came. And once they're back into the public domain, they can do anything because...
Surely they're not going to let people back into the public domain without some form of being able to track who they are.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. They're not able to track them. This is why these immigrants get away with crimes, and this is why people are kicking off about them coming into the communities, because it's dangerous for the normal people or the people who live there all the time.
They all get housed though, right?
A lot of them are put up in hotels now, so
Right.
there'll be a big hotel full of these immigrants, and all these protesters will stand outside the hotel with the placards, interview them, and they'll all get really arsey with them when, you know, if I'm Joe Bloggs, Irishman, I'm pointing my camera at you, the immigrant are kicking off at me because I'm pointing my camera at you. You know, it's like, it's mad, mate. I probably watch too much stuff because it's like, it makes the world seem like a really terrible place. Like, all the stuff that you can watch on YouTube, it just looks awful.
Yeah, you probably
There you
should
go, mate.
watch the news. What is this? Irish Gov traitors. So these are protesters.
Yeah.
Rural Ireland revolts as town's only hotel is closed to accommodate asylum seekers.
But it's all across Ireland. They're all kicking off.
But
You won't be able to watch that, mate. You need a subscription to the Telegraph. You won't be able to read it, sorry.
But that, you know, look, I don't pretend to be clued up on this asylum seeker stuff, but I would be under the impression, or am under the impression, that for people to enter our country, unless they've came over on a boat in the middle of the night and no one
That's
knew.
how they all come.
Yeah, but at some point they're getting picked up by people, by the Coast Guard.
On the shore, yeah.
Yeah,
But without any ID or documentation, how are you going to prove who they are? They could just tell you anything.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to prove who they are, but they wouldn't be let out into society without identification, like given an identity. Then, like,
So let's say you take fingerprints and a DNA sample, stuff like that.
and
yeah?
a name, and you give them
Doesn't
some
happen.
kind of like citizen card or something. Because they need putting somewhere. They need accommodation.
Yeah,
and
they
they
go to
want,
hotels. That's what I'm saying.
and they also want money. So like,
There was one in Scarborough. Do you know about the big hotel in Scarborough that has been closed down for immigrants? Yeah, massive hotel.
Right.
One of the most famous hotels in Scarborough. Apparently, it's been closed. Only immigrants,
right?
and that's what they're doing across the country, which is fucked up, mate. It's really bad.
You know, I go backward and forward on this because the truth is, imagine the shoe was on the other foot, right? You probably think that's, you know, quite controversial, but I'm actually okay with open borders.
Have you noticed they're all men?
I haven't.
They're all men.
Are they?
All these people in these hotels. They pull them on it as well. So you came for asylum, yeah? Where are you? Where's your wife and kids? Oh, they're still there.
What, so just left?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the Grand Hotel Scarborough once described as the most handsomest hotel in Europe, but now home to 150 of the 20,000 Afghan migrants the government has vowed to shelter after fleeing the Taliban.
I think we should have a better system, but I actually do think that people should be allowed in because
They are allowed in legally. Just don't turn up on our border
right
in a boat.
It's weird.
You can come here, you can claim asylum legally, mate, and if you do that, fair enough. But if you just turn up, like randomly, we wouldn't get away with it. If we turned up on a beach somewhere randomly, we'd get kicked out.
It's really strange because I was actually in the Grand Hotel in February.
Never.
Because I stayed, so my hotel was over here, you know where the mouse is.
That's the Royal.
So that's the Royal, that's where we stayed, but I just got told, it's the big hotel on the hill. So I was sat in the Grand, I'd run all the way up here on the beach when I was doing that 30 miles to charity, and I was sat in the Grand waiting for my parents to come down. Half an hour I waited, they didn't turn up. But now that we're talking about the immigrants, there was a lot of...
Did you notice?
Now, I don't know, how does an immigrant look, of a different race? It's difficult to say, isn't it?
Dishevelled. Wet.
Yeah. So... Anyway, in hindsight, I clearly did see a lot of immigrants, and it wasn't looking in the best of shapes, the Grand, to be honest.
No. Yeah, I don't know, mate.
I think it's a bad thing. I've got nothing against people who are trying to get away from a country where they're in fear and stuff, but I think mass immigration is a really, really bad thing. It's ruining our country.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Or, you could argue another way that some of the the best things that have happened to our country is people from overseas coming into it.
Legally though, these people who improve our country, they come in legally. They don't sneak over in a boat in the middle of the night.
Do you think if somebody could get put on a plane legally, right, and come over nicely, that they'd prefer to jump in a rubber dinghy and come over the sea?
Yeah, but because they know that they won't get past all the asylum stuff, they don't qualify for it, so they're going to get in illegally.
But they still need to come here.
Why?
Because,
why here? Why do they need to come here?
Because this is a great country.
Is it?
Well, that's why they come, I imagine, because they like this country.
No, they know they're going to get
free money,
loads of shit given to them, and they're going to be looked after. That's why they come here. We're a soft touch,
aka a good country.
I don't know.
Okay, a good country for them.
It's a good country. We don't protect our own people. It's mental.
Yeah. No, I think, I know.
I've seen a really good one, right? This is a good one. There was a liberal in America, and he's got his Biden thing out the front, and he's saying yes to all immigrants, this, that, and the other. And this guy drives past. It's a skit, obviously, but he pulls up. He's like, "Oh, you're for immigrants, yeah? Yeah, no worries, this, that, and the other." Boom, he's for immigrants. Can they come and stay with you? What? No. Like, class. And that's the way people are. They want to be on this liberal fence where, oh, yes, I'm open to all this and I'm just about good things. But if you put it on the toes and say, well, you're going to look after him, they want naught to do with it, mate.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
You're not putting up no Afghanis in your house, are you?
No, fam. No. I don't even want him in my street.
Exactly, mate.
But they might pinch stuff. Do you know what I mean? But
or worse.
Yeah, but no, I definitely... I like that people come in because it makes me feel that, like you say, look, it boils down to that. Look, I've obviously not thought about it deeply enough, but I just think these poor souls living in these horrendous conditions, they're trying to escape to safety. Like the nice person in me is like, yes, come. Do you know? Obviously, I haven't thought about it after that.
Yeah,
but just get away from bad things. You'll be safe here. Have a tent. I don't know. I think we're doing it wrong, but I don't think I think it's right that people should be able to...
Poland have got it right.
How?
They don't let them in.
Right.
Countries are safest in Europe, lowest crime rates, everything, no terrorist attacks ever. Poland's mint.
Right.
Don't let anyone in. Not coming in. See you in a bit. Ta-da.
Right. Big up Poland.
And people will come at Poland like they're racist. No, they're not. They're just looking after their own community and their own country and their own people. There'll come a day, mate, where Britain is no longer Britain. We'll be the minority.
Gosh. We'll be the minority. What do you mean? British people?
People who are born and bred in Britain will become the minority to other ethnic minorities. They will eventually.
Never happen.
Of course it will, mate.
You know how it won't ever happen?
Why is it the
Hang
most
on.
popular name in the UK?
Why are we fighting? We're
What's
having
the
a
most
conversation.
popular name in the UK?
Mohammed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting, that isn't it?
No. It's
No?
also, no. It's the most popular name in the world and always has been.
No, but why always been the most popular name in the UK?
No,
Mohammed.
no. In the world.
No, forget the world. I'm talking about this country.
Fuck the world.
No, there's a lot of Asians
Okay,
across the
I'm
world.
going to tell you why your point is wrong. Why
Tell us.
minorities won't be. Because, okay, you say that eventually there'll be more minorities than British people.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. Because as soon as these minorities come over and have a kid, that kid's an English person because they were born on English soil.
Yeah, but
So it'll never happen.
I know what you're saying, but
Half of our country, if you go back, 3/4 of our country, you go back a few generations, their family are from somewhere else. So no, it'll never be it'll always be a very, very small percent.
all right. Well, I'll just say it then. The white man will become the minority
Well,
in
now-
the UK.
now
there you
you-
go, mate. That's what will happen.
And what's
My
wrong with
granddad
that?
warned me a long time
And
ago.
what's wrong with that?
Well, that's not what our ancestors fought and died for, was it?
Mate, we used to go around the world pillaging people. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but everyone's done that. Like
Yeah.
historically, there isn't a good country across the entire
No.
world, is there?
No.
Go back to
So why are we talking about the glory days? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you want us all to have muskets and go around killing brown people? Do you know what I mean? What are you talking about? Like, you fucking lunatic.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is that it wouldn't be allowed to happen in somebody else's country. We couldn't all move to India and take over, set up or Pakistan or wherever. We just would not be able to do it, mate. We'd get killed.
Yeah.
If you try to go and live in Afghanistan, you're going to die.
Yes. What's the difference there?
What do you mean, what's the difference?
Their country's fucked.
I know, but they're coming here and fucking our country, mate.
They're not. We have a great country.
Bollocks, do we?
We have a great
Shit,
country.
mate.
It's one of the best countries in the world. It could be the best place to live in the
I
world.
think if you asked the majority of British people what they think of our country, they would completely disagree with you, mate.
They'd be narrow-minded and uneducated, and they would.
All right, okay.
They would change their mind if they played top trumps and actually understood what life was like in every other country.
So why do we have loads of expats leaving the UK to go and live abroad?
Because we like the sun, mate.
Right, okay, we do. Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just sun. We love a sun. When you play top trumps around the world, trust me, we're the best. All right, you could listen. When you play top trumps, as you know, you're not the best at everything. It's the best overall. So let's say there's 100 factors, right? Every country. So you've got wages, you've got weather, you've got your economy, your politics, your this, your this. In every country, there's hundreds of factors, right? In the top trumps game. Mm-hmm. England is beat by some countries in top trumps in some columns. So weather, we're always going to do bad on, right? Apart from weather, we score very high. Now, we don't have the best economy, but we're in the top 10. We don't have the most uncorrupt system, but we're in the top 10. And when you go across the world from every country, take your Poland, take your United States of America, take your Australias, where, your Japans, where, oh my God, they're good at technology. Right, oh yeah. When you play top trumps across the board, we win. This is actually the best country in the world overall. And that's just a fact. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you.
That is not a fact, Dan.
We are the best
I'm
country.
sorry, that is definitely not a fact.
It is.
No.
Trust me, mate, you don't want to go in Poland, mate.
Why not?
It's the arse end of the world.
Why is it?
It's a bumhole of a place, mate.
Ever been?
No.
It's absolutely stunning, mate.
You know why I've never been?
Why?
Because it's a bumhole of a place. That's
Not,
why I've
have you
never
ever been to Poland court?
I have,
Krakow?
yeah. I've been to Krakow.
And?
I have.
It is
And I've been to
absolutely
Warsaw.
immaculate.
Stunning,
no,
mate.
it is immaculate because they've got
Clean,
a big,
beautiful
clean,
architecture.
Yeah, very clean.
Really nice fucking people.
Right.
You're not paying through the nose for everything you want to purchase. Mine is
Okay.
saying that. I think it has gone up in price a little bit since I was there. But
Economy-wise, they're terrible. They've got no
Poland?
money. There's no jobs. That's why the Polish people come here.
don't be silly, mate.
Why is there a massive influx of Polish people into the UK?
Is there a massive influx?
Was.
Or is it just that we deal with a particular type of person that comes over to our country to do a particular type of thing, i.e. construction? That's
I
why
mean-
we think there's so many Poles, because we speak to them regularly, because we're trying to...
The Eastern European, Polish, Romanian, that influx was one of the biggest influxes ever into our country.
When was this? Years ago?
Well, it's still happening now when it started about 20 years ago.
It's the UK 13th there.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're up there.
So this is rankings by 2016.
I mean, in this one, we're
That
third.
was when 2016. It's 8
Yeah.
years ago.
But look, these are. I mean, this is not unilateral, if that's the word, because you're going to get different ratings. You know, like we're third there, we're 13th
I mean, to be
there.
honest, it's so hard to try and rate a country on just being the best.
You know, other countries, it might be a good bet. Like, but even then, we beat them at certain things.
What's that one in the middle there? Go back up, cut.
That one.
Where's England on there? Where's the UK?
They're all different.
You got Poland at 25.
You'll never find Poland
can't-
ahead of England.
Ah, right. The United Kingdom's 22nd.
I mean, obviously, like, what you're talking about? You're telling me Indonesia and India are a better place to live than England? Who the fuck made this? Russia's 20. What are you talking about?
but
CEO World Magazine made it.
Yeah,
mate.
but
Right, all right,
these
yeah,
are
yeah.
popular expat destinations as of 2018.
Bahrain. You telling me? Oh yeah, these are popular expats. I get that. I thought you were saying these are the best places to live.
I know, it's just
Obviously
these are the
not,
best countries to
mate.
live and work, popular.
Russia is not a better place to live than the United Kingdom.
Well, we never lived there, mate, so you wouldn't be able to tell, would you?
Right. There's some places you don't need to. You know what I mean? You don't need to. Right. Okay. Do you want to go live in India? No.
Goa. Yeah, I'll go to Goa.
No. Listen, top trumps, England wins overall. I'm not saying we have the best weather, and I'm not saying we have the best economy. I'm not saying we have the best.
I mean, maybe you're right, we just twist and we don't appreciate what we've got, but
Trust me.
I think the country's a shit show, me.
Trust me. What you've got here in this country is nothing shy of God's work, mate. That's what this country is. Don't look at the negative. Look at what we've got. We have very limited gun problems. We have hardly no disease. The economy's fine, really. No one's hungry, really. Like, even when you want to do haul and sit on your ass all day,
Do you
still
genuinely think the economy is all right?
our economy's all right in comparison to the world. In comparison, we're in the top 5%. Probably
Economically?
Yeah.
Maybe based on like something like GDP or something like that.
That
but-
is what an economy is. Sir.
Yeah, no, but what about everyday people that can't afford to live? Going to food banks and all this carry on. Shouldn't happen in this country.
Hang
If
on,
we're so
hang on,
good,
hang on.
it shouldn't happen, should
Hang
it?
on. But that in itself is a miracle that we have a food bank. That's your miracle.
Is it?
Yes, because you go to India and they don't have one. They die of starvation. And that's 90% of the world.
No.
Like Africa. Do you know what Sierra Leone do with a food bank, mate? Do you know what I mean? No, even the shitness about us, when you actually
We're
come
not
back.
third world, though, are we? We're not a third world country, and using third world countries as examples there, you can't do that.
I'm just saying, but I'm giving you a reason as to why that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Having food banks is a bad thing, mate.
No.
I understand that it's there and it helps people, but there shouldn't be a need for food banks at all in this country. Shouldn't be necessary. Everyone should be able to live fine, no problems at all.
Okay, what's the richest country in the world? America?
Switzerland, probably.
They'll have food banks.
You reckon?
Every country will have food banks for the poor people. That's what it is,
So,
especially now.
By ranking, it's Luxembourg. I'll check out if they have any.
I mean,
food
that
banks.
doesn't count. It's one of them stupid countries where there's 4 people.
Principality,
Okay, we'll
isn't it?
do Switzerland. They're fourth.
Yeah, but of course. Food banks are a good thing, mate. They're good and they're amazing.
I understand that them being there has helped a lot of people, but what I'm saying to you is that in this country, we should not have the need for food banks. Everyone should be fine without that need for a food bank.
You could say that across the globe.
No, but you're the one that's saying England's like top daddies. I'm saying
Overall, we're the best country, yeah.
So yeah, thousands of people affected by poverty benefit from activities of the Swiss food bank every year.
Trust me, Daddy. I'm telling you, man, listen, these things that we think, the truth is, Chris, and I've been guilty of it. I get like in this spiral sometimes and I can start to neg out about something and sometimes I can get so laser focused. Oh, this fucking shit. Oh, I'm fucking sick of this. This is But then when you actually like just have a little word with yourself and just sit quiet for 10 minutes and have a think, you think, hang on. No, these things are great. The fact that it's asylum seekers and we're giving them yes, that's a great thing. We have the economy to be able
it's
to.
the crimes that they commit when they get here, mate. That's the problem.
Yeah, but fam, if you think we're going to live in a world without poverty ever, it's never happening. If you think we're going to live in a world without crime, it's never going to happen. So this is the world. It always has been and it always will be. There'll always be people getting raped. There'll always be people that are starving. There'll always be wars going on. So them things you can't change. All you got to look at is, okay, so what's left? What do we have? And when you actually sit back for the most part, it's not ideal. Nowhere's ideal. But for the most part, these things, your food banks and your this and your, it's a miracle because only now these things are around. Up until 50 years ago, people starved to death, and that it's amazing. And it is literally, you know, whatever you believe in, it's God's work, in my opinion, that we have this this ability to feed people that need feeding. That's just that it's a great thing, not a bad thing. And helping people that are in need is what are we here for? What is it just about? Is it just about getting money and buying cars? Like, no, it's not what we're here for.
Right.
It's
what about the safety of your own? I forget the word.
It's a problem.
Yeah, so that should be first priority, protecting the people that are from your country, not looking after other people and spending millions of pounds on immigrants when there's people in this country, veterans, old age people, loads of people that are hard up as fuck, and we're looking after people that aren't even from here. I think it's an absolute shambles, mate. Maybe I sound a little bit racist, but I don't care. It's the way I feel.
We look after them both equally.
Do we?
Yeah, they're
You hear
both.
a lot of stories about army veterans that are homeless, not being looked after.
You see, there's two sides to a lot of
Old
stories.
people that can't put the heating on, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful that they overcharge for energy. It's disgraceful that pensions are so low. It's disgraceful. There's lots of things that are disgraceful. You're right. And that'll be the same in every country. So we can't think that our country's so bad.
Yeah, I know, but we're not comparing ourselves to other countries.
That's exactly what we're doing.
I suppose you are. I'm not. I'm not looking at it and saying, oh, America are better than us, or this is better than us, or they're worse than us. I'm not looking at that. I'm just saying that regardless of what goes on in other countries, this is not good what's going on in this country.
I agree with you. It's not as we would like it.
No.
But we can't. The world will never be perfect.
No.
No. And whether we like it or not, this is the best it's ever been. And it'll continue to improve and get better. There is no right answer.
Do you not find that the people who have power now are more powerful than they've ever been?
No, I think they're less powerful than they've ever been.
How did they get away with COVID then? How are they still getting
Once
away with
upon
it?
a time, the king could have you beheaded.
Yeah, that's true.
So now it's actually a lot less now than it's ever been.
In that sense, but the world, I don't know, it might not be, but I feel like it's more corrupt. There's more evil in higher places now than there ever was. Fair enough, you'd have your king and he was awful, but now we've got so many systems in place giving out power to so many people and they're all dodgy as fuck. You only have to look at Matt Hancock and what he said about the general public to understand how they all feel about us.
Look, Matt Cockhand was he was a trippy guy. So was his gaffer. They'll always
Boris?
Yeah, Bojo. There'll always be people. Look, he's not the world's most corrupt person, mate. Like at the end of the day, he's a man with a hole in his bum.
What was it? The text he sent though? Should we release stage 2 to put fear into them, or some a WhatsApp message he sent? Let's release phase 2.
Listen, right?
Just sounds dodgy as you like, mate.
All right, listen. It could be. Yeah, look, he was shit at his job, and there'll be millions others like him. But you have to remember, mate. We're humans. These people that are in these positions, they're humans with egos, with sex drives. They're not machines. Possibly the way that the world goes better is that one day the world leaders are artificial intelligence, because then there'll be no bias, there'll be no ego.
Bit of Terminator 2 action, mate.
I'm just saying, they will give you the right answer every time. It won't be based on ego, and it won't be based on
but you've
preference.
seen Terminator. That's what happened.
I'm not saying make a fucking robot, mate. Right?
No,
I'm saying it's...
But it was all artificial intelligence. That's
Right.
what it's centered around, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, I get that.
The AI became self-aware and then...
What I mean is there should be I think there should be a decision maker where, like, what do we do about immigration in this country? Well, ask AI, because then it's going to give you a non-biased answer. It's going to give you really what the right thing is to do. How do we fix
Unless
this?
AI itself became corrupt.
That would it becoming a human being then. So that's going into another realm there. Is it actually thinking for itself then? Is it
That's what they say.
does it
Could
have a
happen with
heartbeat?
AI. That's why they say it's so
Yeah, it
dangerous,
could.
don't
It
they?
could.
Because it
Look.
could become more intelligent than we are and then actually become a weapon against us.
No, it could.
I've heard Musk talk about that stuff. Got to be very, very careful about what we do with it.
If I had my way, we'd stop now. We'd stop and delete it, but it's too late now. It's been born. Who knows what's going to happen there? But look, just underline that point. I totally agree with you, mate. That in this world, in England and everywhere else, to different levels and different scales, there's loads of stuff that isn't right.
Yeah.
But where I've got to disagree with you is that well, the things I've said, a lot of these things are actually miracles, and overall, England is, in my opinion, the best place you could be.
You've got a more positive outlook on it than I do, mate. No, I disagree.
You're not having it?
No, not at all. It's an absolute joke. Shambles of a country.
Nah, mate. Listen, God save the king. You know
Grandad
what I mean?
would be absolutely seething if he was still alive.
Yeah. No, look, it never will be perfect, but it's better than it ever has been.
Better than picket fences back in the 60s.
There was no such thing.
Wasn't there? It's just America, that mate.
Yeah, that was a decade in the USA, and that was purely right place, right time, right circumstance. It was World War II.
Yeah.
That's what happened. They just hit the jackpot. That'll never happen again. That was a blip. You know what I mean? And look, end of the day now, right then, if you were in 1955 and you could look at living in the Midwest in America or living in Grimsby in England, trust me, you'd want to be in the Midwest in America. Okay, let's go to the same place now. You probably want to be in Grimsby, mate. Do you know that's probably where you want to be now?
The Midwest? No, the Midwest's like Texas and that, isn't it?
No, that's the South.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So what's the Midwest?
Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm using it as an example. Anywhere in America would have been like that. The West Coast, the East Coast, it would all been like all picket fencey time. I'm saying you go back to them same places now, probably for the most part, England's probably your best bet. Probably. Yeah, their politics is mental. Their policing is worse than ours. Their gun crime is worse than ours. The drugs are worse over there. The opium, like the disparate, whatever it is. Like if you're not rich, you know, like, I don't know if I'm like, nah, man.
You know, the UK just follows America, don't you? Whatever happens in America tends to come over here. So I agree with you. America's gone tits up, but so's the UK.
I mean, I don't believe we're going tits up. I believe they're going tits up.
Yeah.
But I believe we won't. No. I don't think we will. No, we're pally with them, but we don't copy them. You know, we haven't done the guns thing. We're not making weed legal. Like, we don't copy them.
No, that's true.
No, we don't. England are quite stubborn. That's, you know, we're very British upper lippy, and like we do what we want to do. Somehow, you know, if we agree with something, oh yeah, we like that. Yeah, we'll go bomb that country with you. We'll get on board with that. We'll kill them brown people. You know, we get on top. But if we don't like it, we'll go, no, actually, no, we're not doing that.
When have we ever done that?
Well, the things I've
Have
just
we
said.
ever said no to America?
We won't give kids that trans operation.
Won't we?
No, we stopped that.
Did we?
Yeah, we said this isn't right. So now we're not allowed to give kids hormone blockers and stuff like that because we've just said, you's are raged. You carry on doing what you're doing.
So we were doing it, but now we're not.
Yep.
And we're saying the Americans are raj for allowing it to continue.
We aren't saying that, but in not doing it, that's kind of the point we're making. We disagree with this. That's why we don't do it no more, because we disagree with that.
Oh, well, hats off to them for disagreeing with that.
Trust me, Daddy. God save the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The United Kingdom, mate, is the best place in this world.
Mental.
I know, and that might make you think like the whole world's fucked then, because you don't even like here. But trust me, you'd be whinging a lot more if you lived somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind my day-to-day. My life is unimpacted by it, but it's what I see around the country.
Mate,
Because I watch a lot of it. I watch a lot of it. I watch too much of it. It's depressing. It is.
You do know there's Disney movies out there, right?
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever watched a Jungle Book?
Yeah.
I've
seen the Jungle
I want to
Book.
be like you.
Bit of Mowgli. Is it Mowgli or Mowgli? How do you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen it, mate.
Just watch that, mate.
Yeah, I'll stick it on next time I'm feeling a little bit down in the dumps. I'm watching too much political shit about the UK.
Yeah, man. Come off that.
Yeah, I'll give that a miss.
Look at that radiant smile, that beautiful shirt, that happy, you know what I mean? The happiness you spread. Mate, get on board with it, man.
All right, yeah, the UK is mint. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a fantastic country. We're all blessed to be here.
It's a beautiful place.
It is. It's the best, mate. Some might say it's the best.
It is the best. Listen, I've enjoyed this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've had a good debate. You know?
Yeah.
I'm glad I've been able to instill more wisdom.
Yeah, I've took some things on board, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God save the king. How long have we been rolling Southpaw?
Around 120.
That's going to do us, Chris.
Is that?
We're at 120 now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we do it.
That works for me, mate.
Yeah, it works for me too. Is there anything else, Southpaw? Have I forgotten anything?
Well, just a little. We will be back to boxing at some point soon.
Yes,
but
we will.
The way it's fallen hasn't been advantageous to the time frames.
What's that thing I had to do with my phone? Do I have to sit my phone to the screen or something? Is that right?
Well, you can do.
Yeah, okay. So Southpaw said I had to do this with my phone. So I have to do this, right? I can't come any further forward. Yeah. I don't know what that was for. Southpaw said we had to do it for
I'm
something.
sure he'll make it look the part, though, when he does it.
He will, like, Southpaw's bang on, isn't he? Big up Southpaw.
No, but that just lets the viewers know that the time that we film this is the 29th of May, and then probably we're trying to get a little backlog going with a couple of episodes. Daniel's on holiday soon.
Yeah, that was the point we wanted to make. That normally me and you do our Golden Era boxing.
Yeah.
So this episode is called Golden Era No Boxing. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
We're going to do a little spoof on the
We're going to
cover.
try and get Brent on for next time.
Maybe Golden Era UK or something like that.
Yeah.
Brent will be in touch. We've got some reels coming out very shortly for you. You'll have seen them by the time
I've
this is
seen
out.
him already, but are you inviting him back on? Because
I'll be in
I really want to have that with him.
I'll be in touch with Brent, but yeah, he'll be sat next to you. And
We're going to sit down with Brent, are we?
Yeah, man.
I love this. He's the guy that disagrees with you, right?
It's more than disagrees.
Oh, has it got...
It's
Yeah.
much
Spicy.
deeper than disagrees.
I got on the phone with the guy and I was a bit
Fuck
worried.
me.
I was like, listen, but obviously when you meet Chris, we can't be fighting now. He's like,
He can do
mate.
what the fuck he wants, mate. Danziger.
No, don't.
Zero.
Don't
You
fight
know
us.
how dangerous this man is.
I
know.
It's a good debate. That's all it's going to be. Like today.
I know, don't start a fight, Chris.
I won't start a fight. He'll start a fight with his lips. Listen,
We're
mate.
just convos, mate.
Huh?
We're just having convos, that's all.
I know,
We
yeah,
just
but
talk.
he's said a lot, mate. Trust me on this. He said a lot, and he didn't have much to say. Come like 1 o'clock on Sunday, the 19th of May, he didn't have anything to say, mate. I was surprised by it.
Did you have bits to say?
I had something to say, mate. Don't you worry about that. I was in his DMs.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking right was that.
Was it absolute bombard?
No, I sent him one message. Clown, I think I said.
Nice. Good
And then I
start.
piped up on the comments where he'd said, fuck all about boxing, because I said, all right, well, I'll revisit this on May the 19th. And I think my comment read something along the lines of, oh, whoops a daisy, what do you know? The ex-boxer knows fuck all about boxing.
Well, we look forward to Brent paying us a visit.
Oh, I
and
look forward to it, yes.
We'll have a good, grown-up, mature debate.
So I'm sure we will,
Won't
mate,
we?
yeah. After
Listen.
I've ripped the shit out of him.
Listen, on that note, thank you, everybody, for watching People Like Us. At some point in that, there will have been a video, which I didn't mention, for our sponsor, who, without them, none of this will be possible. Thank you to the team. Thank you to Johnny. Thank you to Southpaw. Thank you to Chris. This has been People Like Us, and we will see you next time.